Hello, everybody. Hey, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's time for Wake Up and Makeup. I hope everybody is having a great Thursday. I haven't been with you this whole week. It's been a little crazy this week for us in Houston. But I'm glad to be back. I know Renee has taken great care of you guys. While I could not be on. So excited to see everyone. And we're going to keep going. So we're going to get started. So in these Wake Up and Makeups, we do go over the basics. We go over start to finish, what happens and like how to airbrush and all of that. So we will go over that. Tracy, hon, call if you can take some time. Excuse me. Call customer service, hon. They're going to take care of you. They always take care of everybody, so they'll explain what is going on. Hey, Darlene. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Rose. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. So good morning from Michigan. Woo! Michigan, you know what cold is. I know. Houston was not prepared for it this week. So anyway, now that I have electricity and water and all that fun stuff, well, hopefully it'll last too. So every morning we do go over the basics, the beginnings, and we ask you are able to ask your questions and ask, anything that you have a question on makeup wise, as far as like, how do I use this or how do I use that? We are going to take care of that for you. California, how's the weather there, babe? Rose, how's that weather? So anyway, let's go ahead and go on go over the starter kit, the beginning. And so let's see. Oops. Go down here. This is one of our starter kits. This is the Icon. We also have the Icon Pro, and we have the Legend, and of course we have the Breeze, which is our new cordless one. That is amazing. But it all comes with makeup. It comes with the 2 bottles of foundation, and that's so you can use it. We want you to use it. This is, there is a little bit of a learning curve when you're first starting. So we want you to make sure you're in there and using it. And then when you get it down, once you get it down, which won't take any time at all, you'll use about 5 to 8 drops to do your entire foundation, which is pretty amazing. Because with airbrush makeup, you're using 10 times less makeup. And so we also give you Love and a blush. Now, when you get it, what we want you to do, my mouse is acting a little crazy right now. What we want you to do is this right here. This is how you're going to practice. So when you turn it on, there is air that comes out. We want you to practice. You're going to keep it 4 finger widths away, move that air around. Nothing is being released until you pull back on the trigger. And so practice with water, and just get that down. Once you get this movement down and that sweet spot where to pull back on the trigger, you got it. You got it. All right. Let's see. Happy with it? Oh, yay! Yay! Regina has one. She's so excited. Yay. Oh, in California, it's 70 and rainy. Let's see, 20. Michigan, I'm feeling you right now. Hey, Jackie, how are you? Rose is on her free trial with the silk. Hello, Veronica. Yes, I'm so glad to be back. I am so glad to be back. Rose, I'm glad you brought that up. Rose is on her trial with the silk, and the trial, if y'all see you see our ad, sometimes it says like $29.99 or $19.99, and that's so you can try it. We know that there's a learning curve there, and so we want you to love it just as much as we love it. And so we want you to practice, we want you to use it, we want you to experience it. And then we even have like payment plans that you could do. You can pay for it all at once or make payments for it, which I think is pretty darn amazing. Good morning, Patty. How are you? Yay, Patty. I'm right there with you. Mine came on this morning. It was on and off yesterday, and then last night it was really cold. And then we have it on. So yay. All right. So let's get started. All right. Which makeup? Sherry's asking which makeup is full coverage. The full coverage makeup, we have two. We have Mystic, and then we also, which I'm gonna use Rose. The Rose foundation is the Rose 4-in-1, and it has the anti-aging properties in it, your foundation, your moisturizer, all concealer, everything. But it is full medium to full coverage. All right, so I've already prepped my face. I'm going to tweak my brows just a little bit more to get these on. And this eye, of course, is watering. So I'm just going to line them a little bit more. And then this is the 2-in-1 brow duo. And I'm using the angled side of it. I'm getting that down. Right there. And then sometimes I like to go over it with just like a spoolie of mascara wand to kind of brush up those hairs, kind of in the front, just to make it look more hair-like. And then I'm actually going to go straight. My eyes are watering so bad I can't read this. Okay, this is my shade. Good morning, good morning. I love that Dawn's like, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good morning. All right, so now I'm going to go in. Put about 5 drops. Turn on my system. And then I like to go in and make one complete pass. And then I'll hit those problem areas that I want to take care of. Under my eyes. Notice I'm keeping it 4 finger widths away. I'm gonna keep moving. And because I did the tanning last week, my sunspots are showing up. So I can go in and cover those, kind of hit those a little bit more. And then my lids are dark, so I'm gonna cover those. Now notice that I'm making passes. The coverage is in passes. So you go in and you just keep making passes until you get the coverage that you want. It's different than traditional makeup because you're not going to see that opaqueness right away. It's going, I don't like to say buildable because that to me seems more like thick, you know, but how airbrush makeup goes on, it's like light little air kisses. And then you'll start seeing, the best way to describe it is like you'll start seeing things blur away. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. So I went through those 5 drops. When you're starting out, you might use 12 drops or 10 drops. That's okay. The more you use it, the better understanding you'll have about it and the less drops you use, but keep using the 5 drops or 8 drops at a time, because that way you can keep track of how much you're using and what to get it down to. And so now I'm going to keep making my passes. And go down my neck. One more time. Now, on like what you should be seeing is, okay, Heather needs to put on some makeup, but then it should start just like looking amazing. Like things started to blur away. You know, you're not seeing the things that you need to cover. So I think that is my coverage. So we have the Rose 4-in-1 foundation. We also have the Silk 4-in-1. So both of them have the anti-aging properties in them. They have the moisturizer primer. I would have to say like they're the more forgiving because you can go straight to airbrushing. Then when you get familiar with the product or familiar with airbrushing, then when you're in the beginning, then you're going to say, okay, well, what else should I get? What else should I look at? And so things that I love would be like Glow for underneath the eyes. Love is another great product that does come with your stuff, your kit. Sharon, thank you for saying that. Sharon said, I've been told it's very cakey. So if you hear that, ask them how long they've been airbrushing, because 100% they're doing it wrong. And that's why I say there is a learning curve. If you're putting it on like traditional makeup, it's not going to be airbrush makeup. It's not going to do everything we say it's going to do. You have to make sure you're putting it on correctly. I can put 20 passes on my face. Like I can keep going, and it's never going to feel or look cakey. You have to make sure you're doing it the right way. And that's a lot of people think when they're putting it on, for the very first time, they put it on like traditional makeup. And that's not how it goes. And so you have to make sure that you're doing it correctly. That's why we do these lives. So you can see it being done, so you can ask questions. I love that question. Because no, in no way, shape, or form should it look cakey or feel cakey. And anybody who's been airbrushing, y'all put your 2 cents in too. So y'all, I mean, you're not just hearing from me, but you're hearing from other people that are using it as well. Hey, Mary, thank you. Cynthia, your eyes or my eyes? Because my eyes are super puffy right now. I'm like, which one? Me? Yes. Packet, what can I use before airbrushing? Let's see, Rose. The moisturizer, you do have the moisturizer in the Rose foundation and in the Silk foundation, but you can use a regular moisturizer beforehand. Just make sure it's oil free. So you can put that on beforehand and then go to airbrushing. All right, so now I'm going to use, my chair keeps moving, use the Love, and hopefully my eyes won't be so puffy. What is better, the X Out CC? Oh, for dark circles. Vanessa, that is a good question. That is a good question. It depends on how dark they are. The CC concealer is going to give you more, it has more coverage. So I like the CC concealer, but I also like X Out. That's a tough question. Again, going back to the coverage, I would say if they're super dark, go the CC concealer. Not so dark, go X Out. Will the makeup transfer to your mask? Is it Patty? So my eyes are blurring because they're watering so bad. Will it transfer to your mask? No, it will not. Now, I will tell you, constant rubbing, yeah, you're going to have a little bit of transfer, but we also have this makeup sealant in the spray that you can spray it when I go out. Obviously, I haven't been out in a week, but if I go out, I'll spray it around here, and then that way it won't transfer at all. All right, so now I'm going in with Love. And I'm just going to do it on this side so you can see the difference. It's very subtle. I'm kind of doing it like high cheekbone, but see how it just grabs the light. It gives you that young, youthful glow, very subtle. I can even use it on my, oh, I love that. On my lids. 3 years. 3 years. Oh, Sherry, I love it. Sherry says, I have been airbrushing for about 3 years. Never once has mine been cakey. Love it. Love it. Thank you for telling us, Sherry. I love hearing from you guys. So chime on in. Chime on in. I haven't done this in a week, so I'm like, what do I do now? All right, so that's Love, going down my nose a little bit. But see how nice and subtle it is. Very, well, I got a lot right there, so, and I'm gonna show you how to fix that. I'm gonna blow the rest of that out. Now I'm gonna go in. There's a couple ways you can fix this. If you do get something, you know, I could just tap it out, but I'm gonna put maybe 2 drops of my foundation. And I can just airbrush over it. Yes, y'all tell me your airbrush story. I love hearing that. When I first started airbrushing, I was too close and pulling back all the way on the trigger. And girl, you're right along there with, I would say a lot of people do that because you think, I mean, you're doing it like traditional makeup. That's what you've known up until this point. And so you put it on like traditional makeup. That's normal. Normal, I tell you. And it enhanced every wrinkle. Now I look 10 years younger. I love, love, love how it feels. I'm hooked. I love it. Give me some more stories. I want to hear. I want to hear. Yeah, I actually started doing, I'm a makeup artist, and so I was doing people's makeup. And so that's the only thing I've ever done is airbrush makeup. I've never offered like a traditional makeup. And that's the one thing a lot of people will say, well, no, I kind of want, you know, traditional makeup. And I'm like, why? Why would you want, I mean, airbrush makeup makes you look younger. It gives you the coverage. It lasts longer. It can do anything you want it to do. I mean, you might have one person that doesn't like a lot of makeup, just wants to even them out. I mean, when I do one-on-ones with people and they're like, I've never worn makeup. I just want a little bit around my face and then, or a little bit to even me out. And that is it. That's all I want. And that's it for them. Now, I also have people that are like, and I also have people that are like, no, I want makeup. I want makeup. And they want it where it looks like that. And so Luminous can be that for them as well. All right, so now I'm going to get in the Cut palette. I'm using the Cut 2. And the Cut 2 looks like a violet. And I love it. Love it, love it. Why are we both live? I think we're both live for some reason. And I'll put this on and that on. There we go. And now let's do, I think we both went on. I think Renee thought I couldn't get on because I was having some issues, and she might be on as well. So we'll have a dual Facebook. So that's awesome. All right, so now, so I just did a little bit of contouring, not much at all. Let's see, Vanessa, how can you cover or make less visible the eye wrinkles with the airbrush? So the crow's feet around the eyes, that's something I'm very self-conscious about. And I know this sounds weird, but you actually are going to do less. You're going to do less makeup there. Don't, traditional makeup, you're like, cover, cover, cover. With airbrush makeup, you do it and then keep moving. Like, don't stay there. You'll never be in one spot twice, but there's overlap. So when I do it underneath my eyes, I'm like, bam, 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 like move, move, move. You can always go back and make another pass. That's why it has to be applied in light passes, where you're going to question whether or not the makeup's even coming out. And so make sure that you're doing it that way, and then it'll be fine. Now, under the eyes can get a little tricky. So you always want to keep your stylus level. You can face it down just a little bit, have the air blow that way. And as soon as you feel that, start your movement first. Then as soon as you start pulling back on that trigger and you feel that makeup, you keep going. If you need to kind of tap it or blend it, you can do that until you get all that down. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm going to take the Optics palette, and I'm going to do a little bit of the Reflection, which is like a wine color. And I'm going to go right in here. And go back and forth. And I'm just going to do a little bit. I mean, I'm snowed in. I can't, that sounds so weird to say. Hoping the electricity does not go off again. Keep going. So I'm just blending it out a bit. Ah, yes, Jackie, that's another great thing. Yes, Velvet Veil. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, we do have this product called Velvet Veil that you put on before airbrushing, and you can put it all over, or you can put it just in those problem areas, but it helps blur fine lines, wrinkles, and crinkles. And so you can, it has a dropper in it. Yeah, it's like this one right here. And it has the dropper. Thank you, Bethany. But I just do this and then I put it on. But you do it before the foundation, and it's amazing. So you can do it right underneath the eyes. A little bit goes a long way. Put it on, and that's it. Don't reapply it. Don't pack it up or anything like that. Just put a little bit on, and then you can airbrush right over it. Thank you, Jackie. Bethany, you're so sweet. I love that photo you sent me, by the way. That was awesome. Bethany sent me a photo of some, she did her eyes in the metallics. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Let me make sure I have my mascara. There we go. And I'm going to do, I'm still hooked on that Loyal lipstick. I love this. This is a little, yeah. Very neutral. And frozen right now. When your house gets to like 30 degrees, it's kind of weird. Now I am doing something a little different. I put, right now, being that it's cold, everything's dried up, frozen, all of that. So with the lipstick, I put that on first to kind of help, you know, put some condition in my lips. Or I could have used our the lip jelly. But now I'm going on and just lining the lips a little, just to give it that edge. And the Loyal can be a little too neutral for me, and so I'll put a little bit of pink or a little bit of something in it where it's still neutral, but it just changes that color just a little bit. Does that make sense? Yeah, it is. It's so weird. And not having electricity is awful, especially at night. I'm gonna add Charming blush. Right there. And then I'm gonna add my mascara. We started a fire. Actually, my neighbor came over and started the fire in the fireplace for me, and I've never used any place I've ever lived. I've never used it, and I've been using it for 5 days now. But my daughter says it's a campfire because we're camping. Put a little bit of mascara on. And the bottoms. And back to the top. And I like this brush because it goes like this. And so you can use the point to really get in there and get going with it. So there you go. All right. Hopefully my eyes don't look so swollen now. Hopefully. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will be back as long as I have electricity tomorrow. I will see you guys at 9:30 tomorrow. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.